you can probably beat the spider at stage 10, stage 20, or even at stage 25 if you're an endgame player. But can you do it with only champions from 2 factions? I'm talking about Shadowkin faction and the Dwarfs faction. That is what this new tournament in Raid Shadow Legends is giving you as a challenge, and it's promising these rewards right now on the screen if you can actually do this spider with 2 factions only. They are known as, I don't even want to mention the name of the alliance for this one. It's kind of a weird name that I've never really seen them do this one. We normally see the Gale Impact and other alliances that has 4 factions, but this one is limited to only 2 factions only. So it's kind of a strange one, and it's going to be hard for most players to have good champions that can do the spider from only 2 factions. So that's why I wanted to put this one out there to show you my team that was able to take down the spider 20. Or even maybe I can even do 25, but I've not tried. I want to do it as fast as possible with a little energy as possible to get the maximum reward and be done with it. Now, this is one of those tournaments that a lot of players will not be pushing for. So you might be able to get to this top position right here and get that 6 pieces of relentless gear, epic ones right there. So as part of the new content that is coming up, Raid is pushing out the new stuff. I'm talking about this, their new souls that is available right here, and all those, I don't know what they are called right now, the soul coins and soul essence. They are pushing it out right there. So that's one of the ways you can actually get them these days from tournament. Usually this type of tournaments that has a specific faction offers a void shard at the top, but this time is a 5-star chicken. I'll take it. Of course, if you're a lower level player, you have different rewards based on your tier ranking where you are. On the Noob to Pro, it's not possible for me to push for this one, so I'll be showing you this content from the main account. And just because it's from the main account, it will be kind of broken. Yes, I'm not here to build champions that I will just use rares or epics. No, I use my best champions to give me the best time I can do at level 20, and maybe so I can move on to other content and also save energy for other fusion that is coming up right now. So this is my team. Without wasting your time, this is my end game broken team that can do spider 20, but they can still do it at a world record breaking time of 10 seconds or 30 seconds or 1 minute. No, it's still a 3 minutes to 4 minute run, because the only damage I currently have from here is Geomancer. Yes, you say, what about Ninja? Yes, Ninja does hit hard with his A1, and his HP burn on the spiderlings doesn't apply to the boss. Like when he does that burn on the spiderlings, on other bosses like the Doom Tower, when he burns one person, everybody burns. On the Hydra, when he burns one person, everybody burns. But here, when he burns one spiderling, I'll show the run so you can see what I'm saying. Of course, this is not the only team I'll be showing you. When I finish this run, I'll head over to my index and show you other champions you can use in place of these ones if you don't have these legendary champions that I'm currently flexing on you right now. So let's head over to the run and see how it actually goes. Then at the end, I'll show you their stats, and I'll recommend other epic champions or even rare champions who can fit in these slots from the Shadowkin faction and from the Dwarfs faction. Let's head over to the run and spider 20 and see how it goes. I have presets set because I do have Brogni in there. You don't really need that many tanks and healers and all that. I'm overdoing it. You actually need just 1. So let's see what Geo opens with this time. Increased speed is necessary right here. I'll also have decreased speed on the boss coming from Lady Kimi. Alright. Now we have 3-ton HP burn on the boss. When we get hit by the spiderlings, check out what happens. I hope the mother spider takes damage. Ooh, my Geo is so fast. Ninja cannot freeze the spiderlings. Take note of that. I'm seeing if the mother spider is taking damage. She is taking damage. I'm seeing it. 666. Whenever they hit me, that's it. Big hit right there, because that one procced War Master. It doesn't proc Giant Slayer anymore. It procced War Master. So it's those ones I'm looking for, the ones that proc War Master hits. The little hits from 666 damage doesn't really do much damage right there on the mother spider. It's a little damage, but the ones you're looking for is the ones that will proc War Master. I'm waiting for another one to happen. Maybe that's even from Brogni's passive. This might be from actually Brogni's passive. So Geomancer stealing the Tomita again. He keeps the Tomita down the entire time, the entire run. He keeps the Tomita down. I'll show you the stats that made it possible for him to be able to do it consistently. Normally, you need a consistent form of Tomita reduction, else the mother spider will eat the spiderlings and it will make the run take too long. But because Geomancer always has his turn available before she takes a turn, it sends her Tomita back to 0. And if you're working with Spider 20, you can fully deplete the Tomita of the boss, unlike Spider 24 to 25 or 21 to 25, where you cannot fully deplete the Tomita. It is restricted by how much you can do that. If somebody is going down, I do have an alternative champion. I'm talking about Molly. Could have been my tank here, but I wanted all the damage to be going towards Geo. That's why I made it my tank. I think it's Brogni's passive that is broken, not actually Geomancer's passive. Because I do have HP burn on the boss, but it's not on the spiderling. Woo! He almost got resisted right there. He does have enough accuracy, but right there it happened. Big hit. So like I said, this is a 3 minutes to 4 minutes run, and I'll let it run all night till the morning and get all these rewards and possibly win the tournament. So this is not something I intend to run during the day. I just wanted to show you the broken team that made it possible. If it's something you intend to do, can this team do Spider 20? Of course they can do Spider 20, but that will take maybe a 6 minutes. I mean, I'm talking about Spider 25, 24, 25. They can do it at a higher level, but there is no reason. The only reason I'm doing this tournament right now is because of those rewards on the right hand side, and possibly win the tournament because nobody on my bracket is going for it. So if it's your bracket, it's kind of easy. You might want to go for this one. So I'm sure they can do it at the same time because this is a very tanky team and nobody is in danger of dying. We have a good heal coming from my, what's her name? Demeter. Yes. Good heal coming from Demeter and block damage also. And Geomancer keeps the Tomita down all the time. So a nice one. Let me the run end so I can show you the replacement champions you can use in place of these broken legendaries I am using. Epics can do this. All you need, the main champion that does damage here, I think Geo will be the MVP right here because of that Tomita reduction. As long as you can keep the Tomita down, you can slowly take down the boss. There are not a lot of Dwarfs or Shadowkin factions that have AoE HP burn, unfortunately. That's what I noticed from this faction. If I head over to the Bastion and Champion Index, let's check out Shadowkin faction and make some recommendations from the Nyresan Union. Nyresan Union. I hope I'm getting that one right. So if you have legendaries that have the skill required to do this, of course you bring them in. I don't have these legendaries, so I can't really vouch for their ability to do this. I can only speak for right now Lady Kimi, Ninja. Karato is not that great here, unfortunately. Toragi, the boss doesn't really take too much damage from poisons, but Toragi is somebody that can keep your team alive if you do have him. It might possibly work in upper dungeons. I'm talking about 13, 10, 16 if you're at that level. But at 20, Toragi will die from that ally protection that he's putting on his team. Now, a lot of Shadowkin faction do have AoE on their A2 and A3 skills, but I did not see a lot that have AoE on their A1 skill. So with that in mind, if you have a champion that have AoE on their A1, you find it right here that have the AoE on their A1 like that. Make them in a stun set because you need to control the spiderlings. I think Sachi has a condition right there, AoE on the A1. That's what I was looking for. So this is a champion that can possibly you put in stun set and will help you in this particular level that you're trying to beat. She's not only good for this, she can also help you in faction wars. I use her in my Shadowkin faction wars, Sachi. She's not in a stun set though in that faction. She's there for damage. So but just for this, maybe if you want to throw in a stun set is fine. Masamoto is another tank that can keep your team alive. He has the AoE right there, decrease attack so you take less damage and also increase defense. So Tomita Feel also is right there. So it's an option right there that you can use. Oboro is the damage dealer, is not recommended right there. Gembo is also not recommended right here. So you are limited in options. Just go for the tanky ones and AoE ones that can stun the spiderlings. Now for damage, I'll always go towards this Dwarfs faction if I'm looking for damage for something like this. Whether you're talking about Godfred, Hondig is good for this one because he does have that turn meter depletion right here. Fully depletes the turn meter. I could use him here too in place of one of my tanks because I'm currently using Demeter and Brogni. I could take out Demeter and let Brogni do the keeping us alive, and maybe Hondig can, but I'm afraid he'll be killing a lot of the spiderlings. That's why I didn't want to bring him in here. I want them to be alive and so they can hit me and I do that passive damage to the boss. That's why I want the spiderlings to be alive for this one. Even if they don't have HP burn on all of them, they are still giving me passive damage from Brogni's hits. So that's why I'm not using Hondig for this one. I already have enough turn meter. If my Geo was too slow and he couldn't consistently reduce the turn meter, I'll bring in somebody else to do it. Tronda is awesome for this one if you build her for stun. A lot of people build her for the damage factor and use her in the 3v3 arena. So if your Tronda is not in a stun build, she will not be good for you here. Grizzle Jar is great to keep your team alive. Cornelia, that's one I actually brought her out of my vault. Let me head over there and show you what I was thinking. This champion is awesome. I actually brought her out of the vault, built her to level 60 today, and I wanted to showcase her in this build as a budget version in case you don't have legendaries. I actually wanted to put artifacts on her. I was even farming masteries for her, but I looked at the time the tournament has already started. I was like, let me show you what I have so far. So Cornelia is a viable option right here. Why? Because she has this ability to keep your entire team alive and possibly place fear, passive effect of whenever an enemy loses sleep debuff placed by this skill has a 50% chance of replacing it with fear. So she will fear them, and also if they wake up, she can place, she will sleep them. If they wake up, she will fear them. It's a chance. So that's why I was going towards this mastery right here that will possibly increase the chances of fear by an additional 5%. So this was what I wanted on her. He's a champion that I intend to use for a long time, but this was an excuse for me to actually build her today. But I'll finally put some artifacts on her. What do you need on her? Speed. Just make her go fast. If you have Relentless that has good speed stats, give her Relentless. She will be built tanky. She's not built for damage at all, except you're going to be using this champion as a champion to solo some kind of content like the Boomer. That's why most people go towards the offense 3. Else I wouldn't go offense 3 on this champion. So Cornelia is one that I wanted to use here, but my team is already working well. That's why I did not build her or use her right now. So I guess I spent books on her, took her to level 6 masteries for nothing. No, she will still be useful in some other content some other day, just not today, unfortunately. So that's what I wanted to highlight right there. She's awesome to keep the spiderlings in check. Right now I have Brogni. If you don't have Brogni, your team will go down. So that's why you need somebody to either sleep them or fear them. It's one of the two ways to keep them in check, or somebody with an AoE on that A1 to consistently go in with that stun set and keep them stunned so you don't take too much damage. All right, that I don't think there are any rares worth mentioning besides Master Butcher, who is known to be tanky enough to keep your team alive and do that revive on death. That's one that is worth mentioning. HP burn on Bulwark is not worth it for this level, and I don't know enough about any of these dwarfs to speak for them. And for the Shadowkin dwarfs, Shadowkin rares too, I didn't mention them because they are quite limited, and so far none of them are shining in Raid Shadow Legends. So the epic Geomancer is the MVP for this one. The legendary Brogni is the MVP for this one. Then if you do have Ninja, he can come in there and do some big damage to the boss while the spiderlings are hitting one of your spider tanks. All right, that's my team that took care of this spider tournament that is currently going on, and I intend to run it all night and get all the rewards. But take note, don't spend your gems on this tournament. Save your gems for the upcoming fusion Mighty Uko if you're going for that. I intend to use only my free-to-play energy for this type of content, and also the dragon tournament is still going on. That's where I'm actually spending my gems, not on this spider one. This spider one will last for 2 entire days, so we do have some time to finish it up. Let me know the teams you are using to beat these spider tournaments right now for the Nyresan. Let me check out their name again. Nyresan Union. Let me know what champions you're using right now, because they are very, very limited. That's why a lot of people will skip it. But I'm glad I have Brogni and Geo to help me get through it right now. I'll see you in the comments with your champion recommendation and champion stats. I didn't show you my stats. I was supposed to show you the stats for these champions, especially Brogni. Which speed am I using right there that is making him be able to consistently keep the spiderlings, the mother spiders meter down? Speed 215. 215 Brogni can do it. Of course, if you have higher speed, he will also be able to do it. So that's the 215 speed. It's kind of low speed, but I wanted to focus on accuracy for Doom Tower for this champion. That's why his speed is that low. So that's the only MVP I needed to show you. Nobody else needs to be seen here. If you do not have the Brogni, I'm sorry. Better luck maybe next time. This is not the end of the world. I just intend to farm this spider and get some silver because I'm currently going very, very low. Hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Raid Shadow Legends content. Later, guys.